excuse her while she kisses the sky.
Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis ready for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Williams. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So it'll be first down here after the run. On the ground, this is Williams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line, but how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Here's Wilson to throw, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
To throw is Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. A little track jump. Still on his feet. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Peterson alone in the backfield. So after the INT, it's Manning. He's got his man on the crossing route. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Shift together here from the D-line. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. And the tackle there by Chris Long.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They go play action here on first down. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So they're operating in the red zone.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Manning to throw on second down. And this is incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And it's third down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. Manning now on third and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on fourth down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They run it again with Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking. Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down. Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Wilson looking for his tight end Gates, and it's intercepted. Picked up on Champ Bailey, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3 points is 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. On first down, Manning. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Peterson alone in the backfield. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. From the gun, it's Manning. His pass caught at the 4. 1 yard is the gain there. It'll bring up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Manning to throw once more. And that'll be incomplete. The Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on third and goal. Again, it's Manning. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Ozzie Newsome from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. It's caught outright by Graham. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Antonio Gates, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They'll come out in the pistol. Manning to throw on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Manning on the bootleg. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The tight end Jeremy Shockey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Play action. Manning. Deep drop. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The third quarter starts with a run by Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Manning to throw on second down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Seattle. Antonio Brown, 87 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, Wilson. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Wilson. And Graham's got it. Complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And able to find Graham. Complete. It's a gain of 7, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. It got his man. Complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Odell Beckham, 60 yards. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's not always as trite as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now Manning on the bootleg. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he's finally taken down but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Complete to Newsom. Pass, look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ozzie Newsom, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Over the middle to Beckham. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
In motion left is Rice. Again, Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Jones on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here's Wilson to throw. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Here's Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he motions the wide receiver. Wilson to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They run again on 1st down, Peterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Seattle 1st down. And off comes to Peterson. Oh, the spin. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the D-line's going to spread out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Manning now to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. This game will